Hello, I hope that you are well. I've recorded this video for people who've been stranded in Linux and they don't have a way to get out. They feel like they've been trapped. For some reason, Linux, I don't find it as a operating system for multimedia. Don't get me wrong, people do well in it, but not for everyone. And maybe for the smart people, maybe. But in this tutorial, regardless of everything, by the fact that you're here means that you're trying to get out of Windows, this Linux, and perhaps you've been stranded in the many rubbish tutorials in YouTube. So we're going to go straight to see how we're going to get through that thing. So let's get started. So for this tutorial to work, you need to have a good internet connection, or maybe if you don't have internet connection, you can have an ISO which you've already downloaded, and make sure that it's very reliable from Microsoft. You don't want to get rubbish ISOs from other places and the boot will not continue. To be very sure, you need to go to Microsoft website and download an ISO from there. So for me, let's begin by going to Microsoft, and in the edition I'll select Windows 10, and then I'll click confirm. So when you click confirm, you'll get to choose language. If you're Chinese, just choose Chinese, or if your language is not there, no, that's a problem now. But English is just good. Can choose either English or English International, and then after that you click confirm. Once you click confirm, the rest is not magic. It will just start downloading, but for it to download, choose whether 64-bit or 32-bit depending on your system. I think 64-bit is just good for this tutorial. So once you click 64-bit, the process should start, and that will get you started. The next thing is to go to Linux. In the Linux, the one thing that will make sure that you'll never get Linux or Windows installed in your platform is that there is an install.wim file which is in the sources file. If you check at the properties, you'll check that it has a size of 5.3 GB, which is not very good to be copied in a USB or any other media. So for you to understand the .wim file, you can't really transfer it to a media because it exceeds the 4 GB, which is necessary for transferring. So I don't know how to put it in the right way for you to understand it. So the only way you're going to bypass this process is knowing how to split this WIM file into maybe like 2 halves or 3 halves, then so that the booting will start. So we are going to go to the Linux terminal, and we're going to install some couple of things. So if you go to the terminal, click sudo apt get, then update. This will just refresh all the softwares that you have in the system. Then after that, you click your password and it will just update. Then after that, after you click it, now the next thing to add is sudo apt get, then you click install Wim tools, and it's Wim with M for mango. Then after that, it's going to install. Then after that, the next thing is just type sudo apt get install the gparted. In the gparted, it's like a Windows version of device manager and such things in Windows. So this will be very helpful in partitioning of apps, in partitioning of of the disk that you have. Then the next thing you need to do is to type, still in the terminal, you need to type winlib image x, and that will, for it to this the image x, the winlib helps in processing of that WIM file that we're going to check. So the next thing to look at is to see or to locate where the WIM file is. So you need to copy the install.wim file. You don't want to just interfere with the original WIM file. So copy it and maybe put it in the downloads folder. Maybe that will work. The downloads folder. After it's done copying, if you go to the terminal, type winlib, then hyphen imagex space split space downloads slash install.wim. That is just to locate where the WIM file is. Then the next command is in the downloads, so you click download slash install.swm. Then you need to give the size of the file, because now we are splitting that WIM file. Let's split it into 4000, so that the first file will be 4000 and the next one will be the rest, which is like 1300, I guess. So after that you click enter. After you click enter, now this is where the magic happens, because it will split that file into two. So there will be install.swm and install2.swm. So after it is done, now you're ready now to roll. The next thing you want to do, just stick with me because this will be very important, because the next thing is to make sure that you're able to relate Windows and Linux at the same time. So you need to create a partition in which is gparted, and also with the whole thing which is NTFS or FAT32. So after that you need to go to the gparted, click gparted, then it will tell you to put your password there. After you click the password, go to at the top right, you'll find where the hard drives are. Make sure that you're really keen on what you're doing here, because unlike other operating system that you're used, Linux is very serious with what it does. It makes sure that it completes the task that you've given it, and by you doing all these things, it makes, like, maybe if you select the wrong drive and then you click something like format, it assumes that you know what you're doing. In any case, it will be very happy to blow out your computer and leave you desperate, and when you're desperate, it will throw a very big party in your CPU. So the next thing, after you select the hand drive, sorry, not the hand drive, the USB, make sure not to select the hand drive, because if you select the hand drive, chances are you're going to remove the operating system. So check and select the USB, and after you select the USB, you need to make sure that it's unmounted. So the next thing you need to go is to go wherever there is an allocated space. Up there you'll find something written device. In one of the tabs up there, click create partition table. Then in the select new partition table type, select GPT. Make sure you select GPT there and click apply. After you click apply, now you need to go to an allocated space and click new, and in the file system you can choose NTFS or FAT32, but for me I'll just click FAT32. Then alternatively you can label the flash if you need, this disk if you need, but this is just optional. And then you click add. This now will make sure that the partition table is done. Then after that you click that green tick there to make sure that you've applied everything. Then you're set now to do the next process. The next thing you need to do is to go to the download. I'm assuming you've already downloaded your ISO or it's there. So if you've not downloaded, you need to download it. And if you, in the process of downloading, you need to maybe pause this video and wait for it to download. But for the people that have downloaded, all you need to do is to right click there and go to that file where you've already downloaded it. Then you need to mount you right click the folder, and after you right click the folder you unmount it. Alternatively, if it doesn't, there will be a link below on how to extract, because we need to extract the contents of that ISO file. So there will be a link on how to do that. So after you unmount it, you'll find various folders there inside. You need to copy all of them, but remove or maybe exclude sources. First of all, copy the rest, and then take them, or copy them and take them to your USB disk. Then after you're done doing it, click a new folder there, and then when you create a new folder, you can now name it sources. When you name it sources, now go to the original sources way of the ISO file. Make sure you're following it. Go to the original version, the original sources of the ISO file. Then select all the contents, but remove install.wim. Make sure it's not selected. Copy it and paste it into the sources of the flash disk. I hope you're following. Then after you've copied all the contents of the sources of the ISO to the sources of the USB, now go back and copy the two SWM files, install SWM and install2.swm, that we've now created, that we've just splitted, and then take them to the sources of the USB. Then after you've done it, now your task is almost complete. All you just need to do is now to go to where the flash disk is, and after that you can unmount it, and you've already created a bootable USB Linux, or USB Windows in Linux. The next thing will be to install Windows, which is also covered in the link below. If you have not installed Windows before, you feel free to visit the YouTube channel there and you'll see it. Thank you very much for visiting. I hope this video is very useful for you, and if it has, make sure to subscribe. That subscription will not cost you, but will be very important for me to motivate me to continue doing videos that are helpful to people who've been stranded to a certain situation. In any case, if you have a question, feel free to leave a comment there down. Also like the video, because it will boost the channel, it will boost the video to be seen wider, and many people will be able to be assisted. In any case, I wish to leave it at the moment, and I wish you all the best in Windows platform. Bye bye.